Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for us.
I found out today that that was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's favorite melody.
Oh.
Her
Did he tell you that himself?
memory. I'll just get it this time. I don't know what about it here.
Oh, it's
It's
right
right
there next.
This is a bean.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thomas Haribol.
Tamal Hari. Tamal Hari.
Tamal Hari, huh? Jai. You got initiated name, huh? Wonderful.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long since you were here last time.
Yeah.
You were here when, in May or June, maybe?
April,
April.
April, something like that. Okay. Yesterday, we are discussing 4 questions for inner peace, and we completed 2 questions. Somehow we couldn't complete 4 questions. We just completed 2 questions. So shall we do 2 questions today? Or we discuss on some other topic?
Whatever you like.
How many of you were there yesterday? Okay. So,
Do a little recap.
huh?
Maybe do a little recap.
Yeah. Since we'll do little recap and then we'll discuss remaining 2 questions. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a quick darshan of this Gauri time now.
Very quick,
What happened? What happened? Why Darshan went away?
You didn't want to see us.
There was someone impure in the audience.
These are the most beautiful Gauri tidy. I'm convinced of it. And it should probably be on the video.
Okay.
We're watching from home. Should see also.
Yeah.
That happened with someone you had recently.
Well, you're gonna have to.
Should have played that.
Yeah.
No, no,
No.
right in front of him.
Umagyan timirandasya Gyananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhe Vacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm so happy to be here again at ISKCON Tucson. This was someone? Okay. Thank you. Anybody who was there yesterday, can they tell what are these 4 questions? The 4 questions, a pathway to inner peace. Can you remember? If you are able to remember 4 questions, can you say?
One is your purpose.
Raise hand, those who want to speak. Okay. One question is, what is your purpose? Okay. Anybody else?
Are these the ones that by Shish Prabhu?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't finished today. No.
Yes.
How may I be of service?
Yes. How may I be of service? Wonderful. Yes. Third question.
What's the lesson?
Yes. What's the lesson? And fourth question. Somebody else. Yesterday, those were there. Chris, you were there yesterday? Huh?
Yeah, I was there.
Would you like to? Okay. Okay. Thomas Hari bol. Initiated name is Tamal Hari. Tamal Hari. Yes, Tamal Hari.
I don't know if I have the exact words, but it's where am I placing my attention right now?
Yes, where am I investing my attention right now? So you can all ask this question right now. Where am I investing your attention right now? How many of your attention is here in the class? How many of your attention is somewhere else? So, if your mind is somewhere else, try to bring it here. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yesterday we were discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam how Sudha Goswami is so pleased with Saunaka Rishis for asking 6 questions. And he said, oh, I'm so happy. Munaya sadhu prishtaham bhavadbir lokamangalam yatkrita krishna samkrishna yenatma suprasiddhi. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Questions that relate to absolute truth, Krishna, they can satisfy. Enatma suprasid, they can satisfy our hearts. Otherwise, we may keep on questioning so many things in this world. But if it is not related with Krishna, that may not really satisfy the heart. So we saw the purport. The whole world is full of
Questions and answers.
whole world is full of
Questions and answers.
questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and men are all busy in the matter of perpetual.
Questions and answers.
In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with.
Questions and answers.
And in the evening, also the same birds come back and again become busy with.
Questions and answers.
The human being, unless he's fast asleep at night, is busy with.
Questions and answers.
The businessmen in the market are busy with.
Questions and answers.
And so also the lawyers in the court and students in the schools and colleges. The legislators in parliament are also busy with.
Questions and answers.
And the politicians and the press representatives are all busy with.
Questions and answers.
Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole lives, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of soul can only be obtained by questions and answers on the subject of Krishna, the absolute truth. So, the human life begins with Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Vedanta Sutra begins with this aphorism. Vedanta Sutra is a book of Ved Anta, conclusion of all Vedas. Begins with this aphorism. Athato Brahma. Athato means now. Therefore, you inquire. Millions of lifetimes you have been inquiring about where is food, where is eating, mating, sleeping, defending, all these things. But now you inquire something beyond that. Inquire something about Brahman, spiritual inquiries. Inquire about absolute truth. Inquire about Krishna. So, His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu has written a beautiful book, The 4 Questions of Mahatvetu, inner peace. And he says that these are four questions we can ask. And though we may not have answers to everything in this world, in this life, but if we are able to question properly, then we may get proper direction. There's a lot in our heart as Paramatma also. If you honestly question, we can get some wonderful direction in our lives. So he says that we should question. These are four questions. What is my purpose? How may I be of service? What is the lesson? And where am I investing my attention right now? So yesterday we discussed first two questions, so we'll briefly go through it and then we'll focus on third and fourth question. So instead of worrying about uncertainties of life and trying to solve all problems in life, sometimes people become so busy just trying to handle all the challenges in life. This problem comes, then trying to sort out that problem. That problem comes. They are just trying to fighting against challenges in life. But the goal of life is not just to solve all problems of life, or whatever problem come in our life. We have to focus on the real things which we need to deal with. So instead, we should inquire what is important for me, what are my priorities, and especially what is my purpose. We have limited time and energy. If we focus on our purposes, there is possibility that we may be able to gradually go closer to our purpose of life. However, if we just get carried away by urgencies and so many other things in life, we may waste so much time, and in the end, we may feel dissatisfied. As in Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Shram evahi kevalam. We may do so many things, but in the end, we may feel dissatisfied that, oh, I just uselessly wasted my time because I did not really focus my time and energy on actual purpose of my life. So, sometimes there are certain things which are primary in life, and there are certain things which are secondary in our life. Our real purpose of life is primary. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Our spiritual life is primary because we are spiritual beings. And our material life is secondary. Material life is supposed to assist our spiritual life, supposed to help us in achieving the spiritual destination of our life. But sometimes we get so much carried away by material things that we have no time for our real life, spiritual life. So in the beginning, people may be wanting to know what is purpose of life, to know the goal of life, to know the truth in life, to know the absolute truth in life, to know Krishna. One may try to explore first in the beginning. And when one knows the absolute truth, Krishna, then one may want to develop love for Krishna. And developing love for Krishna is the ultimate goal of life. And when we develop love for Krishna, we can develop love for all. And when we know Krishna, when we connect to Krishna, when we serve Krishna, when we develop love for Krishna, that can lead to ultimate fulfillment in life. But sometimes we may be busy with so many things which has nothing to give and take with Krishna. And even if after great achievements in life, great successes in life, great appreciation and glorifications, and achieving so many medals and everything in life, one will feel empty in heart. One may feel, oh, what have I accomplished? in the end. My heart, in the end, I'm still not satisfied. So, material aspect of life is very illusory and uncertain. And if you focus on it, that it can be very bewildering. But spiritual aspect of life is actually real and certain. More the things change, more we need to embrace the things that do not change. Material things are always changing. Spiritual thing is eternal, they don't change. We are spiritual beings, Atma. This reality is not going to change. Krishna is supreme spiritual being, Paramatma, supreme person God. That is not going to change. And we are eternally servants of Krishna. Our relation with Krishna is not going to change. Krishna loves us eternally. And we also have love for Krishna, but it's covered over. So what is primary and what is secondary? Yes, we can worry about secondary, but we can worry little more about primary things. And ultimately, purpose of life is not just to improve material aspect of life, but improve spiritual aspect of life. Okay. So Srimad Bhagavatam says, Savai Pumsa Parodharma Yato Bhaktir Adukshida Hitiki Apte Etam Na Suprasidati. Ultimate goal of life is to have love for Krishna, and that is what will satisfy us. So this first question, what is my purpose? So we may have many purposes in life, so we have to check, is it in any way related with absolute truth? Is our purpose in life any way related with Krishna? And if it is, we should know it will be fulfilling our hearts. We will fulfill in the end if you endeavor in that direction. But if our purpose has nothing to give and take with Krishna, even we achieve that so-called purpose life, we won't be fulfilled in life. Yeah. Second question, instead of inquiring, how can I get a big job in my life? How can I learn more in my life? How can I enjoy more in my life? How can I achieve more in my life? How can I get stability in my... So many questions and thoughts and this thing may be there in our minds, but all these things are not very important questions in life. Really important question is, because since my purpose of life is to develop love for Krishna, because I'm eternal servant of Krishna, the real question is, how may I be of service? So externally things may change, situations may change, our roles may change, but in every situation, if you can ask, how may I be of service? Then we can positively progress in spiritual life, and in the end we'll be deeply satisfied. Yes. And if you don't ask this question, and if you ask any other question, if you just focus on whatever above questions are there, how can I enjoy more in life? End result of that will be frustrated in life. More we try to enjoy in life, more we'll get frustrated in life. This in Srimad Bhagavatam, Avanti Brahman is saying, Etam sastaya paratmanishtam adhyasitam purvatamair maharshibi aham tarishyami duranta param tamo mukundangri nishevaiva. I shall cross over this unsurmountable ocean of nescience by being firmly fixed in the service of lotus feet of Krishna. We can cross over the ocean of miseries. We can cross over the ocean of suffering, ocean of ignorance, ocean of this material existence by focusing on service of Lord Krishna. This was approved by the previous acharyas who were fixed in firm devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. So, how may I be of service? So we have choice in our life to see the world with eyes of enjoyment or to see the world with eyes of knowledge, eyes of service. Anybody remembers? Yesterday we discussed some examples of this. Okay.
I wasn't here yesterday, but I just remember my question this morning about how you said Ratna Maharaj chastised you when you asked a question about feeling conflicted between serving two different devotees with different instructions. And I thought this answer he gave was really enlightening and powerful. Like, stop trying to control, be a servant. And that really was the answer that felt like that instruction was for me. You wanna try to enjoy this circumstance, make it good for you, but try to actually be of service. I really appreciated that.
Yes. This were Vaisheshika Prabhu tells nice. He relates about one documentary he saw. In that documentary, it is seen that how one man, he gets up in the morning and is late and he's in great anxiety. Oh, I'm late. And he goes in the washroom, he wants to take bath, and then he sees there's no water. And then he's further frustrated. And then he works hard, arranges something, and then finally water comes, Then again he gets ready and he's about to go to the office. So he goes to the parking lot, he's about to take his car, but then there is child playing with his bicycle and is on the way, and he was trying hard to get the way, but this child was not listening, and he was just playing, and it was delaying him. So with great difficulty, finally he somehow pushed the child apart, and then somehow he went out and then drive. And by the time he went to office, he was already very late. But since morning he left and he did not take breakfast, he was very hungry, and he kept his then bag in the office, and then he goes to the canteen because he was very hungry. But when he goes to canteen, he sees that there's a very big line, and seeing that big line, he's very, very frustrated, and he's waiting in line, and then he sees that one lady comes, she cuts the line, directly goes to the front of the counter, pays, and then takes some snacks and goes away. And he becomes really wild. What does this lady thinks herself of? She's cutting the line, and he's very disturbed. And after a long time standing in line, finally when he comes to the counter, he pays the money, takes the token and gives to the person to get the snacks. And when he gives the token and then receives the snacks, and when he goes and sits on the table to eat, and when he opens, he sees that person server gave him some different item than what he ordered, and the food which he actually cannot take it, and he becomes mad with frustration.
Reminds me of someone I know. He has a life like that.
So he was so frustrated, and in that documentary, it is showed that one stranger comes there, and he then removes the vague spectacles from the eyes of this person, and he gives him new spectacles. And on the spectacles, it was written, "The eyes of service." And then he goes to enter that cycle again, but with eyes of service. So he gets up in the morning, he's late, and then he goes into washroom, and because there's no water, but then he thinks, oh, I got up better earlier than my family members, so now I can actually get things ready. At least my family members won't be in problem, because I was the first person. Otherwise, if they would have got first, they would be in difficulty. So he arranges the water and all these things. And then he goes, gets ready, and then he's going to the parking lot. He takes the car. And because he has eyes of service, when he looks at the child, he sees, oh, here is child. Because his parents are busy with work, and they are not giving time to him. He's so lonely and he's so frustrated, and he's just trying to keep himself busy, and he's in a very miserable state. And somehow he's trying to, when he looks at him, he feels very sympathetic to him, compassionate to him. So immediately comes down, gives, talks with him very lovingly, affectionately, and that little boy is so happy to just have some loving interactions. And then this person goes, and when he goes to the office, he's hungry, so he keeps the bag in the his office, and then he goes to the canteen, and he sees the long line, and he's waiting in the line, and then he sees that a lady comes and cuts the line and goes in the front. But because now he's wearing eyes of service, he could see uh, that, oh, this lady, yesterday she got the news that her husband has got terminal disease. So she took husband to the hospital yesterday, and whole yesterday she was busy doing this test, that test. Whole night she was busy. Did not sleep, and practically she did not eat. And somehow today morning she got some time off to just come and take little snacks, and she has just come. So when he sees that, oh, she has gone through so much of stress and trauma and anxiety, and because of that, she did not actually consider anything, and she just went. And then immediately he went and said, "My dear ma'am, I could understand that you have been in so much difficulty. If there is any service you want, let me know. And you can be in hospital. I can arrange for your lunch and dinner also. Don't worry. You don't have to come." And then person at the counter, and because he has developed eyes of service, he could understand, oh, this person was a drug addict. And somehow he had been in a rehabilitation center, and with great difficulty, he worked hard to get free from the drugs, and he was trying to become normal. And with great difficulty, he got a job, and he has been doing most of the times his job properly, but sometimes he commits mistakes. So he goes and appreciates him. Oh, I could, thank you. You have been sincerely trying to do your job, and so he didn't mind that blunder, that mistake, but rather he was very appreciative. So same situation initially when one was seeing with eyes of enjoyment, mm, one was getting more and more frustrated and angry. But when we go through the same situation with eyes of service, then one can have different experience. Yesterday we are seeing some examples practically in temple life also. Imagine you come to the festival with eyes of enjoyment. Or you come to temple, wonderful darshan, wonderful kirtan, wonderful class, wonderful prasad, everything is wonderful. But if one thing goes wrong, imagine at the end you go out of the temple to the shoe stand, and then you see your shoes are missing. We'll be so frustrated, and while we go, we'll not remember any good things, it's good experience, but we'll only remember that my shoes are stolen, and we'll be mad and wild.
They're expensive shoes.
Yes. But then if you come with the eyes of service, and even in that situation, imagine you come to temple, and temple is not, darshan is not open, and temple hall is dirty, and you clean up the temple hall, and then you see there is no one to properly sing, then you sing the kirtans also, then you attend program, and then when prasadam line, there's big line, there's no proper serving arrangement. You yourself go take initiative in arranging serving properly and start serving, and then in the end you see that everybody's taken food, and then kitchen is in mess, and it's so dirty, and there are not enough people to help with the cleaning. You volunteer to clean, and then after that you take a little prasadam, and we are going back to home. You see that your shoes are lost. Because if one is in service mode, one will not mind it so much. One will think, okay, maybe Krishna took our shoes, no problem. But while going, he'll be happy. Oh, today I was so fortunate. I could clean the temple, I could serve prasadam, I could clean the vessels, and one will have very wonderful, satisfying experience. So same situations, if we go with the attitude of enjoyment, our experience is different. We'll be frustrated. And if we go with attitude of service, our experience will be different. How many of you have such experience in your life? Yes. So I want now all of you can think of one situation where you saw that somebody was in need and you helped him, and you are thinking that you are doing great favor to that person. Oh, this person is great need, this devotee is great need. Let me help him. And when you are helping, you are thinking that you are doing great favor to that person, great service to that person. Maybe that devotee or that person is in miserable state and you are helping him and you are doing great favor to that person. So you can just think of some situation in the past where you really sacrificed, you really tried to help some person, and deep in your heart you felt that you really did some favor to other person. Just think of any one specific incident. And if you are able to think of one specific incident, raise hand. Okay, others are not able to think of any incident. Think of one incident where you extended yourself, sacrificed yourself to do some favor to somebody else. Raise hands. Okay. I want to just know who are able to. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fine. So after you did that sacrifice, after you felt that you have done great favor, what was after effects of that? What happened? And how it affected you and how it affected your relationship with that person. Can you just think about it and maybe share with the partner. Okay, just turn around and just share with some partner, or maybe you can get up and find one partner and share. Okay, in case you can. Okay.
Give ourselves something. And I never had appreciated seeing them.
Can you help
Okay. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Make sure other person speaks. Make sure other person speaks. If he has not spoken, he or she has not. Make sure your partner speaks. Okay. If your partner has not spoken.
No one was able to help him. So I helped him. I think that actually just you were right on. Just knowing reach out. Over the years, a sense of joy. I'm not there for everyone in that capacity. I want to think either, so I not maybe the facade questions, I think there's a good chance that I'm gonna like have to like force myself to do something or just like not like I'm so spoiled. No, it was never no, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. But his question was, did something
Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, when you did some service to others, thinking that you are doing great favor to others, you are sacrificing something for others' benefit. You really did a lot of things for others. How it impacted you? What was the result of that? And how it impacted the relationship? Anybody would like to share? How many? Okay. 1, 2. Yes.
I remember 2 instances. One instance of, I'm not going to share what I did, but one instance.
Yeah, I just want how it impacted.
One was for a spiritual reason, like as a devotee and trying to help someone. And one was for a material reason, where you sacrifice a lot, try to like help someone materially, and the one felt very nice and one felt very miserable.
Okay.
Spiritual feels nice.
I'm saying when you think that you are doing some sacrifice for somebody else, how it impacted you and the relationship with that person. So you've said that, when you're, so it impacted in one way positive and another way negative, huh?
Because when you that same sacrifice, trying to do something nice for someone who is very caught in mode of material nature at a material level, like I'm trying to help them materially, then you become frustrated.
Okay.
Whereas when I've done sacrifice for those who are trying to help spiritually, I felt very happy.
And you're thinking that you're doing favor to them?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you felt happy? And how do that other person perceived it, and how it impacted your relationship with them, their relationship with you?
In a spiritual circumstance, I feel that the relationship became very deep. In the material circumstance, I felt like I became taken advantage of.
Okay. Fine. Yes.
So, I think, helping out this other devotee really made me feel good, even if, the little bit of service that I've been doing for them was sometimes a little bit annoying to do. When I was done, I felt very good and very satisfied. And I think for our relationship, I think it was really helpful. I think it made the other devotee feel cared for and
Okay.
and
You're thinking that you are doing favor to him, or you are grateful for the service opportunity?
I think a little bit of both, but realistically, probably I just think I'm doing a favor for him,
Okay.
But a little bit of the grateful for the service opportunity, but not as much as it should be.
And how did he responded and reciprocated with you later on?
Yeah, every time, because this is an ongoing thing that happens every week, so every time he tells me, like, at least 3 times, thank you, at 3 separate times, thank you for doing this for me. I just think it made him feel cared for, which I think maybe he doesn't feel
Okay.
that sometimes. So.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, bro.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. No, I helped a friend move once. They needed some manual labor, so I was there for them in that capacity. And I felt like they felt seen.
They felt
They felt seen.
seen.
Seen, like I was there for them, like cared for.
Okay.
As she said, so they felt seen, whereas like no one was there for them in that capacity, or no one was able to be there. Able to be there for them in that, and that just felt good. Felt really good.
Mm-hmm.
Or fulfilling, you can say.
Okay. Yes. Want to say something? You said raising hand?
Yeah, I was just thinking when you asked how did it affect the relationship in the scenario that I'm thinking in my head, it just made us closer. It connected us even deeper, and it allowed us to kind of have a better relationship because of it.
Okay. Yes. Others, those who are not spoken, will go here. Yes.
I didn't raise my hand, but in situations where I help people, I really couldn't think of a situation where I helped someone where I wasn't also getting something out of it, which is kind of what you're, talking about. So I think that a lot of times in the material existence, especially, I don't know, in first world capitalist culture, I've seen a lot of relationships go bad from someone helping someone out and they expect something out of it. Like, I did all this and this is how they repay me? What? And, Shakespeare said neither a lender nor a borrower be, and it's kind of.
What?
Neither a lender nor a borrower be.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the relationship go bad. So anytime, I'm not perfect at this by any means. Anytime I do help someone, anytime I give something to someone, even if they say they're going to pay it back, I always expect that that I don't get anything out of it. And I find that that's helped my relationship with people, even if it is purely on the material level. If I do something for them and I just don't, they're like, I'm going to pay you back next week. I just don't expect it back at all. And I've seen that help my relationships a lot.
Arjun is a very selfless person, very giving.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Tamal Hari Prabhu.
4 years ago, I was visiting here, and I asked Mother Sandalini if there's some service I could do, and she said, "Oh, there's this devotee that wants to go out to, is it Sabina, where you take the tram up the Sabino Canyon, and he needs to run some errands to the bank and stuff like that." So I thought, oh, this is some visiting devotee. Anyway, it was Vyasaki, So I got to spend like 6 hours that day with this extraordinary personality. Has he been to Newtown probably? And just like what he taught me about japa and then telling me about the Radha Damodar Sankirtan bus tours. And I had heard his kirtans before and never really connected with them. And then I met him as a person, and it just like, now I heard them completely differently because I knew the heart of this person. So I was just so extraordinarily blessed that day to offer some small service. I was really the one who was the huge beneficiary, and it's had a big impact on my life. So she gave me a great blessing by giving me that service.
Thank you very much. Yes. Divya Simha Prabhu.
I would say what made me feel good, and that it helped the relationship as far as they would interact with me more, and then they would also appreciate with me too.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Prabhu. Chris Prabhu.
So I'm thinking of two services that I did for the same division. One of them was helping that I was giving them a ride to something they needed to do, but it was in Maya. And I got tired of doing it because after a long time, after like a month or two every week, and I didn't think it was helping them, but I said it was in Maya. And so I told them I didn't really want to keep doing it. And it was completely selfless. I didn't get anything out of it. It was just, took about half an hour or something to take them somewhere and drop them off. And I felt like they were angry at me when I didn't want to do it anymore. But then I did another service for them. It was only one time, but it was supporting their spiritual functioning. It was supporting being able to, watch YouTube videos that were, devotees giving lectures. And they really appreciated that and let me know. And I felt happy about that, and they were happy.
Okay. Internet in one exchange, they were upset, another exchange, they were happy. Thank you. Yes.
So it was a material thing. I was helping a person get a thing they needed, and financially I was able to help them do that by just helping them, not really giving them money. That didn't really work out so well for them. The object that they wanted broke and was not a good deal. And that person continues to see me as someone that can do these things for them. And I kind of got some resentments about that just because I felt like it was an enabler. And I mean, it's still a relationship, it's still a friendship, but sometimes I feel like this person is irresponsible, and by being that person they, rely on or whatever, maybe that's not so healthy for either one of us.
So other person was not grateful enough for your service and help and did not acknowledge.
Well, she's grateful, but like if she's not responsible and, makes her own plans to, you know what I mean, like financially, if she's going to the casino, I shouldn't be her backup plan. That's, so I try to be a friend. I try to be supportive, but I try not to get in that situation anymore.
So you're trying to help her, but in her financial situation, but result of that was I didn't understand exactly. We were trying to help her, but then what happened to her? She was
Well, she continues to see me as somebody that she can come to as her backup plan
okay.
if she's irresponsible.
Okay. So, and okay, that still continues.
I told her I don't want to be her backup plan,
Okay.
but, we're still friends.
Okay. So you tried to help earlier, but now you don't want to help in that way
Right.
because she's not responsible enough.
Yeah, I don't want her making bad decisions, thinking I'm gonna bail her out. I help her other ways.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Well, one was like many, many years ago, before I was divorcing, and I helped a friend. I was going on vacation, and I planned a vacation with a friend to go to Greece from England, and so then so we planned to go. We were excited and everything, and then in the end she said, something happened and she didn't have the money, and could I loan her the money to do it? And then we had to book it at a certain time as well. So I said, sure, I trusted her as a friend. And anyway, so I did that. And then she didn't offer to pay that while on the vacation. And then it started to kind of go on my mind, why is she not offered or anything? So afterwards I mentioned it to her. And it was uncomfortable. I was young, I was 18. And so anyway, then she found some excuse why she shouldn't pay me back, that I wouldn't have gone on vacation alone and I needed somebody. And then I was like, well, no, because that would have been one of my sisters that accompanied me. I didn't pay for my sister, not me. Anyway, so it ended up being very, very sour, and we kind of lost our friendship over that. So I guess the feeling that I felt was like betrayal. That was the ultimate feeling. But as years have gone on as a devotee, if I do something, I know I'm doing it out of love, or if I'm giving something, I'm giving it out of love, and there's no expectation. I'm not expecting this is a favor and we should do something back.
Yes. Thank you. So when we are doing some service, there may be some subtle difference. We are doing service because we feel honored to do this seva. We feel privileged to do this seva. We feel grateful to get opportunity to do this seva. And we do, and we feel really very happy. Like Tamal Haripur was saying, he got opportunity to serve. And imagine again such opportunity comes to you, Tamal Haripur. What would you do?
What was the first part? I didn't hear the first part of the question. If another opportunity like that comes?
To you, how will you respond to that?
I'll jump at the chance.
Yes. So when we think that I am grateful for this opportunity to serve, and we are do it in order to serve devotee, please devotee, in order to please Krishna, get mercy of Krishna without material expectation in return, then we see that we feel deeply satisfied and our relationship also becomes beautiful. I'm sure as Tamal Hari Prabhu in his interaction with Vaishak Prabhu has developed fondness for Vaishak Prabhu, I'm sure Vaishak Prabhu must have also been very appreciative of it. And however, sometimes we do seva with attitude of that I'm doing favor, not we don't do out of gratitude, but we do that out of doing that I'm doing favor and expecting that at least other person should recognize that I'm sacrificing. Other person at least should thank. When we do that with that attitude, generally that relations turns to be sour. and it impacts in negative way. Like uh, mm, mm, I remember there was one devotee, and somehow he had very terrible relationship with the devotees. And whenever he would do service, other devotees would get really upset. And the point came that, devotees wanted him to quit temple, they didn't want him to become. And that is the time when my service changed and I came to that temple. And then when I saw that everybody was very negative about this person, then I thought, hey, I should really help this person. Uh, and then I was trying to do some favor by trying to protect him, trying to somehow or other adjust him, give him these things. But I was thinking I'm doing favor to that person. Oh, just see, nobody wants him in temple, and he need to be as per the management and other things. They wanted to throw him out, but then when I came in, I tried to protect him and try to create a space where he can serve. And I was thinking I'm doing favor, but then later I saw a couple of years later, it was not that relationship was becoming positive. Rather, later I saw that he became very, very negative towards me. Rather, later on critical about me also. I was just thinking, what happened? Uh, and I have been trying to help him. I have been trying to do special favor to him, but still, instead of he being grateful, he has been very critical and negative about me. And then I realized actually because my attitude was not very good. Because I'm thinking I'm doing favor. Mm, Actually, that relationship did not build up. So when we think that we are doing some favor to someone, and then naturally we expect something in return, and those expectations not fulfilled, then we may get frustrated. And when we get frustrated, instead of become that relationship becoming better, they become bitter. Now, from our end also, and then we can see that from others' end also. So yes, serving others is wonderful, but what is the attitude with which we serve is also very important. If you think that I'm doing some favor, later on that relationship may become bitter. When person doesn't reciprocate as we want. And also maybe other person, you may think you are doing favor, and other person may not think you are doing favor. They may think that they are doing favor to you. So in other situation, another devotee just came to me and he was telling, there's one person, he was devotee, but he was not very qualified. He was not getting job. And then he did a favor to him by giving job in his company. He knew he was not qualified, and he thought, because he's devotee, let me do some favor. And he gave job. But then after 2 years, what happened? This devotee who got job, he learned all the secrets of the company, and he started another company who became competitor to this company. And when he started that company, and this person who did favor, he became so upset and angry. And he was thinking, what is this person? Instead of being grateful, he had cheated me. So sometimes we think I'm helping someone, but then later on we may end up actually feeling victimized, feeling taken advantage of. So instead of developing better relationships, we may end up bitter relationships. So we have to be very careful about what is our attitude. If we think I'm doing favor to others, that may not actually build proper relationship, and that may not positively impact us and also impact others. But when we do things with proper attitude of gratitude, thinking of It's a wonderful opportunity to serve Krishna, wonderful opportunity to serve devotees. And we are grateful for that opportunity. Then we can see that that affects our relationship positively, that affects us positively and other person also positively. But if that attitude is not little proper, even if we serve, it may affect negatively us. Therefore, sometimes we see some devotees do a lot of service, lot of sacrifices, and at the end they are frustrated. And then they don't want to do any more service. Why? What went wrong was maybe there was service. They wanted to help, but the attitude was that I am doing some favor to somebody. Instead of thinking that, oh, Krishna is giving me opportunity to serve, Krishna is giving me opportunity to purify, or spiritual master is giving me opportunity to serve, or Prabhupada is giving me whatever, no? Instead of attitude of gratitude and being grateful for service opportunity, you think I am doing favor. Actually, it can boomerang back. It can turn into bitterness. Okay, you are raising, yes.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm asking in service because I think that, and this is not just, I'm speaking from what I've learned from our spiritual master and all of his managerial experience, that sometimes people are genuinely selflessly trying to give, but are treated in such a way that they no longer want to give. This is a reality. And there are many devotees who have given their lives and want to serve Prabhupada. And my Guru Maharaj says all the time, people ask, I've seen people ask him, why do so many people leave ISKCON? His number one answer is they're not leaving Krishna. They're not leaving Prabhupada, they're leaving you.
Yes.
And I think that, in many cases, without knowledge of that service, like if I'm serving the wrong person, and I gave that example, that I want to be selfless, that's the propensity of the soul, that is to be selfless. But if we're selflessly serving someone in Maya or in Maya, in the wrong way, without knowledge. Like there are so many examples, and I think that was a pattern for every person here tonight, that, when I was serving in the material capacity, I wasn't actually serving in a real knowledge. I was thinking my propensity to serve was there. But I wasn't serving Prabhupada or a pure devotee or a Vaishnava. I was serving someone in Maya. And I wasn't serving in the capacity of trying to help them in Krishna consciousness. I was serving in the capacity of trying to help them in Maya. And there's a different result there. And so I think that it is reciprocal, even that selfless service. If someone comes to our temple and they have that, we have so many nice devotees here, and they have that propensity to want to serve selflessly. But if they're treated badly, then they'll go away. They'll still chant Hare Krishna, maybe. They'll still be vegetarian. Maybe they'll still have an altar. But they'll go away. And so I think that there is a reciprocal nature to it. We want to be selfless, but there's also that element of we have to teach the students of the Krishna consciousness movement that they should serve the pure devotees and they should serve Krishna and Prabhupada and that mission selflessly, because if they fall into the wrong type of service, it can be exploitative, and we've seen that in our movement. The devotees come to our movement and they want to serve, their guru, and we've seen that. The guru is some personality who is perhaps in a fallen state and they've become hurt and they left Krishna. So that propensity to serve seems like it went wrong. So my question is if you can speak something about that, because it seems like that's a reality,
I'm not able to understand exactly what you're trying to say. One thing is definitely that things are reciprocal. If he's selfless, the other person also feels grateful for that thing. And but I'm not able to understand
I don't think that's the case. That's my question. Is that
what is the...
Sometimes people serve selflessly.
Yeah.
And then they're actually treated with contempt.
They're treated by whom?
By that person that they're supposed to serve. And this is an example of, someone who's supposedly a spiritual master, and they're become abused. Or someone in a position of leadership, they're abused.
Okay. Let me try to understand you. For example, you're saying that I'm trying to serve some superior, and I'm abused.
If that happens.
Yeah. So what is your question?
So the point is that there are many devotees who come to our movement who want to selflessly serve. But when they're not taught who to selflessly serve and the way to do it, then they become.
Two
that
things are there.
propensity
Yes, we should not only teach whom to serve, but we should also teach what it means to be a selfless service. And we also have to be honest in our dealings, in the sense we don't have to get abused. If we feel abused, we have to frankly tell, not that we continue that abusive relationship. Sometimes we may continue something because of some ulterior motives. So, and point therefore, actually, there in a Krishna conscious relationships, we have many devotee association. If you feel that I'm getting abused, I'm getting mistreated, then it's important that we can share with other devotees and get help. Maybe we are misunderstanding. Maybe person is actually getting abused, and then we don't have to continue service. We can always change our service or change the person with which we serve. We don't have to just continue in same thing. So therefore we need association of devotees where we can also get guidance from other devotees in case we are feeling mistreated or abused or something like that.
Yeah, I think that the element is that, and what I've learned, I bring this up because I think devotees, we've seen before now.
Yeah.
People come with a selfless attitude, and they are selfless. They don't expect anything in return. But if they're not taught that hey, like we serve Krishna.
Actually, people don't come with selfless attitude. Selfless attitude has to be cultivated. Sometimes we may assume that I have selfless attitude. We have many ulterior motives. And new people also come, they also may have many ulterior motives. It requires a lot of training, a lot of cultivation to develop selflessness. So sometimes, because we have ulterior motive, there is chance of, this thing. But if you are honest to oneself, honest to Krishna, honest to devotees, then all that can be worked out.
I think that's true, but I don't think that, and this is just, I'm not speaking in a challenging.
I'm also not speaking.
I'm speaking just from what I've been taught from my Guru Maharaj.
Yeah.
Guru Maharaj has told me this many times. He said, they don't leave us, they don't leave Krishna, they leave us. And the point is that.
Yes, they may not leave Krishna, they may leave us. That's perfectly all right. If any relationship is abusive, we have to leave that relationship.
But I think the crux of the matter is that if someone is acting crazy in the temple, then we can think, let me help them, let me do this and that, but that's not genuinely service. Like Arjuna is thinking, maybe I shouldn't kill Bhishma.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Maybe I shouldn't kill Bhishma, I'm going to do him a favor.
Yeah.
But the real service is to Krishna that I should kill Bhishma.
Yes.
And so that this person should actually be one.
Yes.
That's the service.
Yes. So therefore we have to understand what is service, what is not service. Just because we may get some name, fame, glory, or we may some emotional sentiments are this thing, that is not a service. So sometimes we may think at a service, like as I was sharing, I was thinking, this person everybody hates, but if I help him, and maybe that would be great service. But if you don't help him to improve and correct him and make him better person, so that everybody starts loving him and serving him, then you are not really helping him.
Exactly.
And then that becomes, and by that you may have done favor to him, but actually has not improved. So your relationship with him also will not improve, and he will not be grateful to you also. In the end, you will be frustrated. So sometimes we may do favor with our material consciousness, without understanding what is real service, and then it will have repercussions. Sometimes we see we help with mental consciousness, but actually it's not really help. So then we are also won't be happy and other person won't be happy. But sometimes when we help, other person may not feel help, and sometimes it may be very difficult for us to help because sometimes we have to correct sometimes. But still, if we do a service of Krishna, service to Guru in a proper mood, in the beginning that person may feel little pain or something. We may also feel pain, but in the end they will be happy. We'll be also happy. So service is not just a sentimental thing. So that is, thank you. And in normal times, sometimes we may get carried away by sentimental thing. And therefore, it's important that we appropriately understand what is service and what is this service. Yes.
I just think that sometimes.
And we'll just take this comment and conclude because we already passed the time. Yes.
So just like sometimes, like say someone comes in and they appear selfless, we don't know what their patterns are. Sometimes people have patterns that, somebody is always in the end, they always, treat them with abuse or something. And so they may come into Krishna consciousness and appear selfless, but they still got that pattern there. And so as time goes on, situations happen, and they think, oh, now this person's abused me. They might appear like they were a selfless person, but now they hit that pattern in their brain that's been in there for a long time, and then they go away. But really what they could be doing or should be doing maybe at that point is to look inside of themselves and say, why is this happening again in this situation, in a very spiritual situation? Maybe I need to learn to be more humble, more tolerant, instead of just maybe like taking off, because now they're allowing themselves to be abused again and then reacting in the same way that they made them before, instead of questioning how can I change so that I won't attract the same energy.
So you are saying that if I'm trying to understand what exactly you're making the comment. If
so just basically, if you're feeling abused,
okay, somebody else comes with selfless service but actually abuses us.
Yeah, you feel abused, but
We
instead of reacting like, okay, I'm just going to go off, which might be
okay. Instead of just taking off.
How can I learn? Maybe I need to learn tolerance, humbleness.
Yeah, we need to learn how I can serve in a better way. So therefore, actually, service requires guidance. If you want to serve, how we can serve in such a way that other person also benefits, we also benefit, requires guidance. Sometimes we may have attitude of service, but if we don't have proper knowledge, then we may end up getting abused, or we may unknowingly abuse, and things will become messy. So therefore, though service appears to be simple thing, how maybe I be of service, but actually it's very important to understand what is service, and how one can serve, what is proper attitude, and therefore one needs guidance, and therefore there is need of spiritual master. Otherwise, on our own, so many people, they have good intentions, but then good intentions are not good enough. They either end up abusing others or they end up getting abused because they don't know what it means to serve properly. And result of proper service, when one does service under proper direction, end result is one is purified, other also will begin, both will be uplifted. Otherwise, if you don't learn what is proper service and how to render that proper service, not only proper service, but with proper consciousness, it won't have that same result. So it's a great art of service, devotional service. And therefore so many classes are there. It may appear simple thing, And it may appear that everybody knows it, but it's not like that. So we need to know and learn what is service, what is not service, and what is proper attitude of serving, what is not proper attitude of service. And as per time, place, circumstances, there will be different service, different way to deal with it. So, yes. And so we need guidance about that. Thank you. And not that I had a bad experience now, so I will not serve at all. Then we will not improve. Okay, I had bad experience. Maybe I didn't know properly what to serve, or maybe I didn't have proper attitude. So when we learn, okay, how to properly serve, what's proper attitude, then we'll see that there is better results. Then that will encourage us to serve more. Otherwise, we just get caught up in this. Ramboro Mataji, she says that no, we get caught up in that triangle of perpetrator, victim, and helper. In the beginning, we want to help. Later on, we become victimized, and then later on, we become perpetrator, and we continue in that cycle. But when we become Krishna conscious, then we can actually help in the proper consciousness and not become either victim or perpetrator or just a helper, but just the instrument in hands of Guru and Krishna to assist others in their journey to Krishna. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhu, you need to stay a few more days because we still have some more questions.